Welcome everybody. This is so exciting. We're having our weekly Chofetz Chaim Shalom Bayis class at the beautiful Chofetz Chaim Yeshiva Library Ezras Nashim section. And today we are actually going to talk about not only Shalom Bayis, but fatherhood also. Okay, because the job of the man in the house, so I'm going to read a little bit off this. The job of the man in the house is to, we talk about this all the time, is really to be the rabbi of the home. And as the rabbi of the home, you're trying to lead everyone in the right direction. So I'm going to just read out a little bit from Rabbi Victor Miller, who I'm sure everyone's heard of. If you haven't, come see me after class. He was a big tzaddik that lived in America for about 100 years or so throughout the 20th century. He actually learned in yeshiva in Europe, but he's like really American. So this is what he wrote about how to educate your children in the Jewish way. Okay, just as a show of hands, who here wants their kids to be excited about Yiddishkeit and be B'nai and B'nai Torah? Everybody. So this is what he wrote, and I was very happy to see this in print, and I think that is something that we can all aspire to do. Okay, here we go. And I'm reading verbatim because he sends out a weekly email. Fill your house with simcha. That means joy. Make sure your house is a joyful place. It's very, very hard for your kids to be excited about something that if they don't see the home as a place that's exciting and where they want to be. So fill your house with simcha for what? Not for TV shows, God forbid, not for Netflix, not for the Super Bowl even, but fill your house with simcha for mitzvahs. Your house should be filled with the simcha shel mitzvah. Make your home a place of happiness for mitzvahs. Purim, he says, should be a great day of happiness and excitement. Probably some l'chaims also, I imagine. I know my house, Purim is a very, very exciting time. Yes, indeed. Tu B'Shvat should be an exciting time in your house. You should celebrate it, have all the fruit. Every year we have a Seder. We have like 4 cups of wine. You could look this up online. I'll pee the Ari Kadosh. So we taste every fruit. We have like 24 different fruit. We sit, we talk about how great Hashem is, how great the food are. Make that exciting for your kids. Hanukkah should be made into a big simcha. You should take all opportunities that you can to make happy occasions at home. You should also, of course, celebrate Shabbos. You should also celebrate Yom Tov. Everything should basically be like an awesome party. And what else does he say? Always fill your home with simcha shel mitzvahs so that the children should see that the home of Hashem is a place of happiness, a place of fulfillment. To be a frum Jew is an opportunity for good times. Always make celebrations in the home. The Melava Malka, this is something very, very, on a personal level, very hard for me to do because a lot of times we have Shabbatons, but the Melava Malka at the end of Shabbat should be a time of great celebration for everybody. You know, you come, you have some food. I was very inspired. I read a book about Melava Malka back in communist Russia because they had herring and potatoes and onions, and it was like that was their celebration, and they would ask all the children what they learned and what they're looking forward to in the following week. Like, make it real, make it count. So every chance to make a mitzvah joyous in the house, you have to take that opportunity and go for it and really make it something that your kids enjoy. So then that's like really, now who's doing that? You cannot rely on your wife to make that happen. Like, this is something that the father, you're sitting at the head of the table. So if you don't have an excited look on your face, so it's not going to go that well. So you have to, you really have to be, as we say, mashpia. You have to really take the lead in allowing the simcha to come to your house. So as you're raising your kids, you have to be completely cognizant that it's really the environment that you're creating at home that's going to make the biggest difference for them. So that's something to keep in the back of your mind or in the front of your mind, and that's really the job of the father. You have to remember and always tell this to yourself that however the father really wants the kids to grow up is the way that they're going to grow up. So it's like a huge responsibility, but at the same time, it's like the power really is in your hands. So the way you want the kids to grow up is the way they're going to do it, and no other way. So if you have a couple things in your mind that you really want, so then you could be sure that the house is going to go that way. Most people, if you think about it like on your own, if you think about like one or two things that your father really tried to hammer into you as a kid, so then there's a good chance you're living your life in that matter. So and it's the kids are trying to follow the parents as long as it's not being hypocritical. Obviously, if the father says, "Oh, don't smoke," but he's smoking cigarettes, so that's not going to work out well. If the father says, "Oh, you should go to shul," but they're sleeping in and their tefillin they're always putting on their tefillin at home, that's not going to work out well. But anything this father's doing sincerely or really cares about, so the kids are going to do also. So it's a huge opportunity, and for us as men. And it's something that we should take very, very seriously. So I'll tell you one more thing about fatherhood that I hold very near and dear. If you see in the Shema, so it says Shema Yisrael Hashem Elokeinu Hashem Echad, which means that there's one God, and everyone should be cognizant of that fact. Then it says V'ahavta es Hashem Elokecha b'chol vavcha b'chol nafshecha b'chol yodecha, that you should love Hashem your God with everything that you have. Your life, your soul, your heart, your resources, everything. And then it says, the 2 lines after that says, V'shenantam levanecha, right? Which means you should teach this to your children. Now, Chazal, our rabbis say this is teach the Torah to your children, but also the Pashut meaning is that the father has to teach the children how to love Hashem. Now, how can the father teach the children how to love Hashem? That loving Hashem himself is a way, but there's even one better way. When the father loves the kids, and the kids feel like unconditional love from the father, so then that's when they're going to feel the same unconditional love from Hashem. So that's basically, it says in Devarim that however a father treats the child is how we imagine that Hashem treats us. That's what we call Hashem Avinu Shebashamayim. So if you make sure that your kids know that you love them, so they're for sure going to know that Hashem loves them also. Because that's just everyone's go-to association with Hashem. We say Avinu Shebashamayim, our Father, Avinu Malkeinu, our Father, our King. There's a lot of Father with Hashem. You can't remove it. It's not because Hashem's a boy or girl, obviously, as we know. It's because Hashem is like that, that central giving figure, which is what the father's supposed to be like in the home. So our job as fathers is to make the home fun, is to make doing mitzvahs fun, is to make Shabbos, Yom Tov, Purim, Tu B'Shvat, Hanukkah, anytime you have a chance to celebrate something fun, something exciting, should be amazing. Not like, you cannot have a Tisha B'Av face on all the time, right? You have to make sure that you're excited for the mitzvahs and everything else. And if we do that, then we'll be able to excite our kids about Torah and mitzvot as well, about Torah mitzvahs. And in that way, that we'll be able to really raise B'nai and B'nai Torah, which is the greatest thing, the greatest nachas that parents can have.